Welcome to Want to Learn Chemistry, a site to help you become a chemistry expert. Today you will be learning about the useful metals, chapter 3.5 C1. You'll be learning about uses of copper and the transition metals and why alloys can be more useful than pure metals. To achieve a grade E, you need to be able to give an example of an alloy. To achieve a grade D, you need to describe how the alloy is different from the original metal. And to achieve a grade C, explain why alloys are often more useful than a pure metal. The area highlighted by the arrow is known as transition metals. Transition metals are a large block of metallic elements in the center of periodic table. They have many similar properties. They are good conductors of electricity and energy. They are strong and can be bent or hammered into useful shapes. The properties of the transition metals means that it can be used in many different ways. For example, buildings, cars, trains, and other types of transport. Their strength makes them useful as building materials. And we use them in heating systems and for electrical wiring because energy and electricity pass through them easily. Copper is a very useful transition metal. It can be bent, but it's still hard enough for plumbers to use as water tanks or pipes because it does not react with water. Copper conducts electricity and energy very well and ideal for pipes that will carry water or wires that will conduct electricity. Answer these three questions to check your understanding. Question 1. In which part of the periodic table do we find the transition metals? Question 2. Name three properties of these elements. And question 3. What makes copper so useful for a plumber? Now let's go through the answers. Question 1 was, in which part of the periodic table do we find the transition metals? And the answer is in the central block between group 2 and 3. Question 2. Name three properties of these elements. By that we mean the transition metals, and the properties are the good conductors of heat and electricity. They are hard, tough, strong. They can be bent, hammered into shapes, and they have high melting points except for mercury. And I've highlighted more than three properties here. Question 3. What makes copper so useful for a plumber? And the answer is they can be used for pipes because it does not react with water and it is quite easy to bend. Here there are three useful metals: copper, aluminium and gold. We'll be talking about them in a short while. Let's talk about alloys of copper. Mixing copper and tin makes the alloy bronze. Bronze is used to make ships' propellers because of its toughness and resistance to corrosion. Alloying copper with zinc makes brass. Brass is much harder than copper, but it is workable. It can be hammered into sheets and pressed into intricate shapes. This makes it useful to be used in musical instruments. Alloys of aluminium. Aluminium has a low density for a metal. It can be alloyed with a wide range of other metals. There are over 300 alloys of aluminium available. The alloys have different properties. We can use some to build aircraft, while others can be used as armor, plating on tanks, and other artillery vehicles. Alloys of gold. Gold can be made harder by adding other elements. Gold can be alloyed with copper and used in jewelry. Pure gold wears away more easily than it is when it is alloyed with copper. By varying the proportions of the two metals, we also get different shades of gold objects. Now let's answer some more questions to check your understanding. Question 1. Why are copper alloys more suitable for some uses than pure copper metal? Question 2. What property of aluminium makes it useful for making alloys in the aircraft industry? And question 3. Apart from making gold harder, what else can alloying change? Now let's go through the answers. Question 1 was, why are copper alloys more suitable for some uses than pure copper metal? And the answer is because they do not react with water and they bend quite easily. And also, copper alloys have much varying properties than pure copper metal. What property of aluminium makes it useful for making alloys in the aircraft industry? And the answer is they're harder or resistant to corrosion. Question 3. Apart from making gold harder, what else can alloying change? And the answer is the color of gold. Now copy this summary question and fill in the blanks. More questions to check your understanding. And here are the answers. You have been listening to me at Want to Learn Chemistry, a site to help you become a chemistry expert. Like and subscribe for more videos.